With the Wicks here on this beautiful Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, and welcome to the show, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, do me a favor, hit the like and hit the share. If you're on YouTube, hey, hit that subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. So, hey, we're back. We're running full steam ahead. We finally got the mic working. We got the camera working. We're ready to rock and roll, and we're here to give you guys your fix. The NFL has been quite dead for the past week and a half, and a lot has been happening, but today a couple key things we have got to talk about, like Gronk. Rob Gronkowski officially retiring from the National Football League. Yes, this is his second time doing so, but I believe it is his final time retiring. Why do I say that? Well, we'll get to that in just a couple minutes. That was the biggest news that came out of today's updates. Also, another massive update that we've learned about is the Deshaun Watson situation, in which he has reached settlements on all but 4 of his lawsuits. So what does that mean going forward? Well, we'll also get to that in just a few moments. And finally, defensive tackle, former Bengal, former Cleveland Brown, Larry Ogunjobi signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that being said, let's enjoy the show. Let's have fun. And are you ready to get your fix? So today, we have got to learn about the retiring of Rob Gronkowski. Now, Rob retires shortly after Brady has decided to unretire. Remember Brady? He retired for, 6 weeks or something like that? And that left Gronk, a free agent. So what was Gronk going to do? Well, at first we were all thinking retirement. Then, old buddy Tom Brady comes back after 6 weeks in retirement, says, I have had enough of my kids and my wife. I need to, play more football. Okay, I ain't done playing more football yet. And then that opened the door for Gronk. Is Gronk going to come back to Tampa Bay? Gronk has said multiple times that he would like to play with Tom Brady and only Tom Brady. That's his reason, or the reasoning behind the reason. That was weird to say. The reason why he decided to unretire in the first place was because Tom went to Tampa and was going to bring Gronk with him. So Gronk unretired, went to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl. Wow, what a legendary start. Right after that, last season, they go on another Super Bowl run, except they fall short and lose to the Los Angeles Rams. Bummer. Now he's a free agent. Gronk does not want to come back. In fact, Gronk has officially announced his retirement. Rob Gronkowski right there is now eligible for the Hall of Fame class of 2027. And he's definitely deserving of it. That is for sure. That is a fact. Gronk is and has been amazing throughout his entire career, and it's been a luxury to watch him, one of, if not the best tight end in National Football League history. This man is on my second favorite team, the New England Patriots, or was on my second favorite team, the New England Patriots. And then he goes to Tampa, and his career, his stats His stats are what makes him a future Hall of Famer. Before we get to his stats, let's go right over to the letter or the Instagram post that Rob Gronkowski sent out today via Instagram. So here's his letter. It might be a little blurry on your side, but that's okay. You can try to follow along with me. I'll read it here for you. He said, in college, I was asked to write about a dream job opportunity that I wanted to pursue and where the location would be. Every time I had to write about my future, no matter what, I picked being a professional football player. For that assignment, though, we had to pick the location. So I wrote that I wanted to play in Tampa for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for many reasons, the sunny weather being one. I completely forgot about writing this report until 2 years ago when I had the opportunity to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and let me tell ya, the journey in Tampa over the last 2 years has blown away what I originally wrote about in college. Big time. And for this, I want to thank the whole entire first-class Buccaneers organization for an amazing ride, trusting me to come back to play and help build a championship team. I will now be going back into my retirement home, walking away from football again with my head held high, knowing I gave it everything I had, good or bad. Every time I stepped out on the field, the friendships and relationships I have made will last forever. And I appreciate every single one of my teammates and coaches for giving everything they had as well. From retirement, back to football and winning another championship, and now back to chilling out. Thank you all. Buccaneers fans, the crew, without you guys, none of this is possible. All of you brought it every game. Thank you for all you do. Cheers to what's next. Maybe sailing the seas. Arr, matey. So that is what Rob Gronkowski, this lovely man, this human being that has brought joy to so many over the years, Patriots fans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, football fans in general, is done playing football. And I don't blame him, right? He had a brutal career in New England, even though, he did win 3 Super Bowls there. But injuries plagued him quite a bit. Left and right, he had injuries. Had to wear a big-ass arm brace for God knows how long. His knees were shot. Goes to retirement. Heals the body completely. Comes back and doesn't have to wear an arm brace. Wins a Super Bowl. Was a key part in that Super Bowl run. Gronk is a next level athlete. He's a stud, plain and simple. And the stats don't lie. In 11 seasons, Gronk had 621 receptions, 9,286 yards, 92 touchdowns. 8 away from 100. Shucks. Could have got a couple more last year. Maybe had another time or another season to get or eclipse the 100 mark. That's not the case. However, he is a 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3 with New England, 1 with Tampa Bay. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's a 4-time first-team All-Pro. In the playoffs, he's eclipsed 1,389 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns. Ridiculous, right? He was also the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. He has the most touchdowns ever in a season by a tight end with 18. 18, just think about that. I got to see a list on Instagram today where it said the most receiving touchdowns in a single season most receiving touchdowns in a single season by team. And there's only like 8 teams that have somebody that are over 17 touchdowns. And Gronk was able to get 18. 18 in 1 year. He also has the most 100-yard games ever by a tight end with 32. Just think about that. That's 3,200 yards in 32 games. Plus. Ridiculous. This man was an absolute stud, a G when it came to playing football. He understood what it was going to take on his body, the toll it was going to take. And now, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be a unanimous Hall of Famer. No doubt. Class of 2027, Robert Gronkowski, Gronk as we all know him, will be in the Hall of Fame at some point, most likely in 2027. And I look forward to listening to that speech, the thank yous he has to give out, and all of the above. So congratulations to Rob Gronkowski on a hell of a retirement. Well-deserved, my fellow friend, I guess you could say, even though I don't know you. But I feel like I got to know you enough, right? So after Gronk got to retire or announced his retirement, Adam Schefter went on Twitter and reported that in reaction to Rob Gronkowski's news, his agent Drew Rosenhaus texts, "It would not surprise me if Tom Brady calls him during the season to come back and Rob answers the call. This is just my opinion, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rob comes back during the season or next season." Which leads me to this. Brady heard about Gronk's news, and this is what he had to tweet. Brady's already on the phone. If you can't tell, Brady is taking the phone and he's calling Gronk right now. "Hey, buddy, you ain't retiring, okay? I came out of retirement. You can too. All right? Don't call it quits just yet." That's Brady, most likely in the middle of the season, saying, "Get your ass back in the locker room, okay? We need you, all right? Cameron Brate just went down. He's injured. We need somebody. You're the perfect guy for it." Hopefully Cameron Brate does not get injured. That is the least, that's the thing that I don't want to happen at all. But it's definitely a possibility, and there's Tom Brady with his antics, his Twitter knowledge, and just, "Hey, buddy, I'm calling you, all right? Pick up the phone." So Brady, he knows what Gronk's going through. But I don't think Gronk's going to come back this time. I don't think he's going to unretire a second time. I think Gronk has come to peace with where he's at in his life. He knows that it's time to hang it up. And he knows that what he has accomplished is going to be very, very tough to overcome. So with that being said, let's give you guys, hopefully this works because earlier it was not working the greatest. Let's give you guys one last Gronk spike. Whoa. Boom! What's up, homies? There's Gronk. One last spike for all of you guys out there. And I'm pumped. Congratulations on one hell of a career. Class of 2027 in the Hall of Fame, most likely. I don't see why he wouldn't be. So congrats to Gronk yet again. Moving forward, the news we've kind of been waiting for, at least some of the news we've been waiting for, is the situation surrounding Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson has been going through one hell of a time as of recent with all the allegations, the sexual assault lawsuits, and all of the above. Right? He's seen 66 masseuses or massage therapists in a span of 17 months. At what was first 20 civil lawsuits turned into 22 and then turned into 24. Facing 24 civil lawsuits against him. The criminal lawsuits or the criminal cases were deemed or he wasn't indicted for the criminal lawsuits. But now it seems like we're getting closer to the end in which, well, Deshaun Watson, per Ari Mirov of Pro Football Focus at My Sports Update, said, "Breaking, Deshaun Watson has reached confidential settlements with all but 4 civil lawsuits that were filed against him, according to attorney Tony Busby." So, hey, 20 of the 24 allegations Deshaun Watson and his legal team were able to reach a confidential settlement with. 4 of those settlements still remain and will still go on, at least for the time being. Who knows if that'll get settled in the future? I'm assuming it might. But it's a big step. It's a massive step forward, right? Because 24 allegations, that is a lot. Let alone even having one allegation of that severity is mind-boggling, okay? That's still too much. But 24, I mean, I don't understand how this man goes home and puts his head on the pillow at night and just says, all right, well, we'll wake up tomorrow and do it again. I mean, he has to, but it's like, geez, Louise, how do you get any sleep? But he does, okay? He's found his way and has said from the start, look, I'm innocent. I haven't done any of these things, and until then, I'm going to try to clear my name. That's all I'm going to do, and they've reached a settlement on all but 4 of the cases. 20 out of the 24 have been settled. Now, these are confidential settlements. Nobody will know the number. I'm sure down the road at some point somebody will have the number for us, but at this time, we won't know. Okay, they've reached settlements, whether that's cash or something. I have no idea. I'm assuming it's cash, but it is what it is. But 20 of the 24 have been dropped. And Ari Mirov also reported right after that the terms and amounts of the settlements will remain confidential. Busby adds that the first plaintiff, Ashley Solis, and 3 other plaintiffs are continuing to move forward. The NFL's investigation is still ongoing. And from that report, basically, somebody stated that with all these allegations that were reached on a settlement, this will not deter the NFL's investigation or their final decision on a disciplinary action, basically. So they're not going to do anything, or these settlements are not going to cause the NFL to be like, oh, okay, so he's just fine. He's going to play the whole season regardless. We'll just drop the investigation. That is not the case. Okay, the NFL is still going to investigate it. This is just for the law and like the court system and all that stuff for Deshaun Watson. The NFL still has to decide whether or not to suspend Deshaun Watson and whether or not or how long that suspension might be. Now, with that being said, if 20 of the 24 lawsuits reached an agreement on a settlement, you'd have to expect that the suspension might not be as bad as it once would have been. It's still going to be a suspension whether we like it or not. I don't, however, think it's going to be for a full season. I'm sure the NFL and the Roger Goodell is basically going to be pushing for a whole year suspension to kind of teach him a lesson. But he has 4 civil lawsuits against him. That's it. Once 24. Now, 4 lawsuits, still a lot. Justice still needs to be done. And here's the big question. Do we still understand, or do we know for a fact what Deshaun Watson did other than what we have been reading? I have no idea. If he did it, scumbag, loser, don't want to ever see him in the NFL again. But if he didn't do it, it's going to be hard to push it away. It's going to be hard to know that he might have done some egregious stuff. But at the same time, let the man live. Let the man have his livelihood and play football. But yet again, I reiterate, if he did it, he's a scumbag, a loser. Get his ass out of the NFL because he does not need to represent the greatest league in North America, the National Football League. Plain and simple. Okay, so but just know 20 of the 24 allegations have reached an agreement on settlements. The settlements are confidential, but still, that is a massive, massive update coming from Ari Mirov and other insiders, if you will, from around the National Football League. And now, like I just said, the big part is, where do we go from here? And I'd assume that the NFL will come to a conclusion on a suspension or a disciplinary action very soon, very quickly. You can expect in the next couple weeks, maybe 1 month. I think we're going to get an answer either by training camp or by the first preseason game. And that's quick. That's coming up. August 4th is the first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game. We'll go look real quick who that game is against, but I know it's August 4th. I should have done my due diligence and looked it up earlier, but I didn't, so sorry about it. So the first game, August 4th at 7 p.m., which will be on NBC, will have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, and I am pumped for that one because the Raiders' new and improved offense and defense. Chandler Jones is on their defensive side now as a pass rusher. Devontae Adams, the trade from Green Bay to the Raiders was a massive one. Breaking news, basically. And I can't wait to see what they're going to bring in store. And I also can't wait for the new and improved Jacksonville Jaguars team, right? New head coach and Doug Peterson. Their offense is looking pretty stellar. Okay, Christian Kirk, new wide receiver. They still got James Robinson and Travis Etienne Jr., who tore his ACL, I believe, last year, or Achilles, one of the two. Finally gets a chance to step on the football field, and we get to see what he is capable of doing. Trevor Lawrence also entering his second year, so that's going to be a good game. That is the Hall of Fame game. Now, take in mind, preseason games, you're only going to see your starting offense, especially in the first week, for about maybe the first 2 drives, if possible, maybe the third drive. But we seen last year where the Raiders went with their backup quarterback, Nathan Peterman, the entire preseason. So that could happen as well. So don't expect much. A lot of people hate the preseason. I don't. I love the preseason for the simple fact that you get to see what your rookies are made of. Can they play in the National Football League? Can they play in the National Football League at a high level? Do they know the playbook? Do they know what's going on? How well is their chemistry built? Things like that, just little things. You get to see firsthand what the free agents you brought in look like and your rookies that you drafted look like. So August 4th is the Hall of Fame game, and then so on and so forth. With that being said, let's get to our final bit of information from around the National Football League. I believe it was today that defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi took a visit to the Pittsburgh Steelers where he had a physical, got brought around the whole facility to see if that was a potential spot he would like to play this upcoming year. Didn't take long, actually a couple hours after his visit, or during his visit basically, he said, "Sign me up. I would love to play here." This guy, right there, Larry Ogunjobi, has signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Congratulations to Larry on solidifying another year under his belt in the National Football League. Pumped to see him do what he does best and play football and get to the quarterback and cause chaos in that backfield. The details of this contract are currently unknown. From what I'm seeing, there has not. Let's go quick look here. I think we have an update on that. Nope. So it's still to be decided, the details of that contract. Just know it is a 1-year deal. Now, this is kind of interesting, right? Because Larry Ogunjobi, you see him right there in a Bengal uniform. Same division as the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, before he played for the Bengals, he actually played for another division rival, the Cleveland Browns. And what's interesting enough about that is, you remember when Myles Garrett basically assaulted Mason Rudolph, took his helmet off and hucked it at the guy, almost, or basically hit him in the head? This guy right here, Larry, he pushed Mason Rudolph right before that all started, probably pissed him off, and the rest is history. So this man's a dog. You're going to get everything possible out of him, 110% every single time he steps on the football field. And last season, when he was with the Bengals, he had 7 sacks and 49 tackles. This dude gets to the backfield at an exceptional rate. He causes chaos in the backfield as well, makes it tough for teams to run against him and pass against him. I mean, the dude's what you would want as at the defensive line position or at the defensive tackle position. So congrats again to this man, Larry Ogunjobi, on signing a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Ari Mirov gave us a little update on what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done this offseason. The Steelers additions, right? They go get quarterback Mitch Trubisky, 2 years, $14 million. Perfect. Linebacker Miles Jack, 2 years, $16 million. Offensive lineman Mason Cole for 3 years, $15.7 million. And James Daniels, 3 years, $26.5 million. They also boost that cornerback position, signing Levi Wallace to a 2-year, $8 million contract. And now we learned about Larry Ogunjobi. And their draft picks, round 1, Kenny Pickett, their quarterback. Round 2, wide receiver George Pickens. Pumped to see what he can do, especially if he's anything like he is on Madden. Love that guy, even though Madden's irrelevant. Defensive tackle in the 3rd round, DeMarvin Leal. And in the 4th round, wide receiver Calvin Austin. So the Steelers have been making some moves this offseason. It's not quite going to look like what we have seen with the Big Ben offense over there and defense, but it is going to be something special. I wouldn't say rebuilding by any means. I think this team is still hard-nosed, fights like hell, and knows what they're doing when it comes down to it, and that's winning ball games. Mike Tomlin, no losing seasons in the history of coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers only had 3 head coaches in their career. Chuck Noll. Why am I forgetting his name? Chuck Noll. Fucking Mike Tomlin, obviously. I can't forget. I can't believe I'm forgetting the other guy. But you get it. Bill Cowher. Okay, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. How you doing? Keep it moving. Pittsburgh Steelers have been doing a lot of work this offseason, and they're going to continue to win ball games, and they're going to have a chance to put up a fight to win that division over the Browns, Bengals, and Ravens. So with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit that like, hit the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. Let's keep growing the channel. Let's keep pushing this out there, folks. I love doing this on a daily basis, and I hope you guys like watching as well. So go enjoy the rest of your day. It's a hot one out. Stay hydrated. But hey, continue to have fun when doing anything. Stay happy, make smart choices, folks. I'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, like always. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Deuces, folks.